Every year at this time of year, a lot of people think that the real estate market actually slows down. And the reason you are here tonight is because Dan Borrero and myself are full-time real estate investors. We've been in the game over 50 years combined. And we want to make sure that you understand that not only is the market stay steady during the holidays, but now is, from my experience, the best time to get the most profitable, the most unique, the most creative real estate deals that you can find because most sellers are looking for that holiday money. So now it's time to dig your heels in. Dan Barrero, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing, man?
It's good to share the screen with you.
As yes, and as I with you.
Dan, what would you say to that statement that we just said at the beginning of our live tonight?
Refresh my memory. Is that about Kentucky?
No, I'm saying what I'm talking about this time of the year. Tell people. I mean, you've been doing longer than me, no doubt. You have experience with
Well,
holiday
I,
season.
I find that when I put in offer, it's funny. Like offers that I put in maybe 3 months ago or 5 months ago that haven't sold. I actually got two calls this weekend from offers that I put in that one person didn't even respond to my offer, and the other person counted that I to a number that I it just was not within my parameters.
Mm.
Uh, but now they're looking to talk. So I actually, although I could have spoken to them on Saturday and Friday, I find that it's best to make them wait a little bit.
Plus, what you're gonna do is Saturday. Ain't like you're gonna go out there and write it up and go.
I would, I would. I mean, come on, Chris. We've both written up contracts on Sat. I don't know about you, but I've written a contract on New Year's Day.
I have. I've done New Year's Day. I did one yesterday. I did one yesterday on Saturday. I wrote one up in the driveway. But I'm saying Saturday. If you already made the offer 3 months or whatever, they already got your offer. What's Saturday? What's going to change a day or two?
Exactly. Well, the thing is though that my offer is no longer that number.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Explain to people. The truth is that
We lost you, Dan.
the truth is that the best deals I've ever made, Chris, are usually the month of December, and they're the deals that came back to me that I walked away from.
Hmm.
For whatever the reason is, the deals that I've walked away from that come back to me are usually the best deals I ever make for the year.
You forgot about it.
Yep.
I'm like, refresh my memory because I don't even remember your house.
Well,
It's nothing.
I did remember these two properties.
How did you remember them, Dan?
There were one of them wasn't unique at all, but it just so happens the realtor was he was a character, one to be remembered, his personality. And the other one was a very unique property. If I were able to get it at that number.
Okay, that's nice. So, class, to every Sunday, Dan and I come on here. We take your phone calls. It's 70 degrees. I love Virginia, man. It's 70 degrees here. I'm outside walking around. It's beautiful. Dan and I just came from Louisville, Kentucky, which was 20 degrees there. And we're going to tell you about some of the properties we saw. Oh, I want to show you this real quick while I have you on here, Dan. This is a lead that came in. This is the one I got under contract yesterday. Oh, darn. Oh, here we go. This is the type of leads that are coming in this time of year, y'all. I want y'all to see this. Property address. This is the main thing I want to point out right here. House will be foreclosed on Tuesday, y'all. Okay. So all the people that have been going through whatever they're going through, can y'all see that? Whatever people are
It's
going through.
always amazing how they'll reach out to you when there's 2 days left or 3 days left.
Yeah.
I find those are usually the people that just keep putting their heads in the sand. Um, I used to feel really bad for them, and as years go by, you kind of get desensitized.
Yeah.
Um, but there's a lot of common denominators, and one of the most common denominators that I find in these situations is that people just keep putting their heads in the sand.
Well, it could be one of many things. What I'm learning, Dan. A lot of
One
this
of
stuff.
many things, but before it gets to foreclosure, like here in New York, you go 5 to 7 years before it goes to the foreclosure. Uh,
What?
yeah, because remember we're a very litigation state, so you can't figure this shit out in 5 years. There's nothing anyone could possibly do for you.
You can pay my bills for me. Pay it for me. Let me stay.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing anyone could do for you.
Dan, you crazy. Class, please call in with your questions, deals you're doing. We'd love to critique some of the stuff or help you for free. You got us for free. We charge thousands of dollars for coaching, y'all. You got us here for free for the next 40 minutes. 757-204-1332.
But
S-
let's take that a step further. It's like when people. I remember the first time I did an eviction here in New York City, and it was the boyfriend was home when the marshal comes, and with the girlfriend's 2 kids, and the girlfriend was actually at work. So the marshal says to him, "Look, I give you about 20 minutes. Just grab whatever you can for the kids before you have to leave."
Mm,
And what he grabbed was his boombox and a small TV,
I remember that story.
right? And I said to myself, and it had taken me almost 2 years to kick them out. It was about 18 months back then. And like, how do I feel? I mean, I feel sorry for the kids, but I can't. There's nothing I could possibly do, right?
Yeah.
But him taking his boombox and the small TV showed where his value was, right? Where his mindset was, right? Like Chris and I know I would have I would have gotten a garbage bag if I didn't have a luggage and filled all the kids' garbage bags up with two of them and filled them up with whatever the kids had, clothes or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. All right, let's go. We'll come back for this later because I have to give them 30 days to come pick up their stuff. So, it's just the mentality. There's some people you just can't they can't be helped.
Can't help him.
And then somebody he said to me, man, you don't feel bad, you kicking the kids out. I said, if I don't feel bad, bro, you had a year and a half to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you feel bad for not manning up?
And sometimes people get in over their heads. I have. We all got in over our heads on some things in life. Happens. It just happens. We got a good question here from Instagram. Stevio, what do you think about the no credit score with Fannie Mae? Almost sounds like a repeat of 2008 outcome. What's your thoughts, Dan?
I think we're coming into the midterm elections. The economy is doing horrible. I think that the Trump administration is, and again, this is not against him or for him. The Trump administration has got to they've got to sell ideas. They've got to tell you what you want to hear to try to keep so that they can maintain both the House and the Senate. And all politicians do this. What did Biden do? Like to try to maintain the power struggle, the power when he won right before midterm elections. He came out and said, "I'm going to do a 40-year mortgage through FHA." Right?
Mm-hmm.
They all do the same exact thing. They all do the
Trying to
same.
get votes, trying to beat people.
Yeah, they're just telling you they're giving you selling points.
Well, I'm thinking if they do that, well, let me ask you, Dan. Don't the rich? I'm thinking about the ultra wealthy. So you got all this capital. Don't they have to get it working somewhere? Don't they have to put it out on the street and get people paying the monthly payments? I mean, where else is
The ultimate rich person, do they care if you check their credit? They're rich. Their credit's good. They got the
yeah,
money.
but they got I'm just asking like Wall Street, they have to put it on the street. I mean, they have to keep it flowing back to the people, right? So they can borrow it and stay in debt, right? Isn't that how the thing works?
Pretty much. But think about this. You're gonna give a person a prop. You're gonna finance a property for a person without checking to see if they're credit worthy or responsible financially. It's like it's mind boggling how they'll give student loans to people who go to school for 100, $200,000,
That's right.
and they've never been trained on how to manage money, and
That-
they have
that-
no history. They have no history of credit.
wow, that's deep, dog.
Right now, you want to do the same, and we have right now we I think, if I remember correctly, we have one of the highest rates of student loan defaultments right now, delinquency rates.
Oh, student loan and car loan, right?
Student loans, car loans. Right now, we just hit. I want let's talk about this. So several weeks ago, we just hit the highest rate of car repossessions since 2008.
Let's see that. Record number of subprime borrowers missed car loan payments in October. Data shows
Then
seven
we also
percent almost.
have the highest delinquency rate on consumer credit, like credit cards. We just broke
Mhm.
for the first time the average mean price of a vehicle has passed $50,000. And it was just an article. I haven't read the whole thing. I was starting to read it yesterday. Um, Foreclosure rates throughout the country have gone up 19%. The price
I'm
of
seeing them,
groceries,
Dan.
the price of groceries, depending on who you're listening to, is anywhere between 12 and 24%. So I don't listen to
Uh,
any of it. I ask my wife, she tells me. So all the
mm,
signs are there, people. Oh, we just had in the last 2 months 130,000 job losses. And by some estimates, they're talking about 1 million jobs lost as of since January of this year. So if people don't have a job, they ain't paying their credit cards, they ain't paying their student loans, they're not paying their car loans, think they're gonna pay you rent?
no. Unfortunately, Dan, I think this thing is going to end up with this universal basic income. It almost has to be. Because if you work 40 hours a week and you're still below poverty, why would you keep working? I can't find a reason. OQDLLC. Hope all is well. Good. Thanks for chiming in. I'm looking to make an exit on my slow flips. He's doing seller financing. I'm looking to become a full-time lender again and unload. Would we be interested in buying them? They all have owner occupants currently with them that pay on time and they're great for lifers. Yet, let me know. Yeah, I'm interested. I know Dan probably ain't, but I'm interested in looking at them. Irv, I'm interested in looking at them.
That's in your backyard.
Yeah, it's right here. Send me. You got Chris buys houses at Gmail. Chris buys houses at Gmail. All I can do is look at them and say, "Yeah, your name." Release the Epstein files. I think Trump. They got Trump by the you know what. He gonna listen to them fools so they can release those
I
files. What do you
think
think, man?
that's another concern of mine. How is that? See, everyone's so preoccupied with the drama of this crap versus being preoccupied with how that's going to affect the economy. When you
You
have
damn
when
right.
you have the president of the United States under that type of scrutiny, and possibly, um, maybe members of his own party starting to break ranks,
Hmm.
how is that going to affect the economy? That's not going to help the economy.
No, not at
It's
all, man.
it's not going to help the confidence in out of country investors coming into the United States.
I don't know about anybody watching, but I'm telling everybody, I love transparency. The Haskins home is really scaling back on Christmas from here out. I have come to the realization, I've noticed, that I can no longer pass on the fact that a fat white guy, well, in our house, is a fat black guy that comes in with a red suit and a hat. We're not, we're choosing to back down a little bit on that merely because I just don't want to participate in the commercialism. Now, that's not to say that I'm mad at anybody that does, but we are backing down on that and we're using our funds other ways that could be used for our futures and different things. So That's what we're doing, y'all. And I think a lot of people are really going to scale back on Christmases. In fact, there is a campaign to not spend any money for Black Friday, Dan.
There's a campaign for that.
John, what's his name? He's a he started that he started the Target boycott. Now he wants to do a forget the name of it.
And let me
No,
tell you, that Target boycott
it's worked.
has been very effective.
This dude, Jamal Bryant, man, this dude is a monster.
It's been very, very effective.
Call in with your questions or deals, 757-204-1332. And don't forget, on the link below, we've got Dan and I. It is open right now if you want to sign up to see if you're a good fit for the Ultimate Landlord Survival Guide. I hope you're not getting destroyed by your tenants like Dan and I did earlier in our careers. We're going to show you exactly how to increase your cash flow as well as your tenant satisfaction and a lot of other things that help you to increase your bottom line, y'all. So book your call with dankrisdeal.com. Dan is the master at
And
increasing cash flow.
let's talk about this a little bit more. People, the truth is that you're going to get a call from Dan and Chris. You're not getting a call from one of our team members.
Or
We want
AI.
we want to interview everyone that is interested in coming into this class. We're capping it at 35 people. And the reason is because the last class we did was 48 people, and we had to go an extra week because we were unable. We wanted to make sure that we answer everyone's questions. So understand that this is not a first come first serve. This is all by interview, but it is first come first serve as far as what where you are on the list of the people that are going to be interviewed, right? Because we're going to call up the people that signed up first for the waiting list. So
That's
go
right.
to dankrisdeal.com. The truth is, if you truly want to learn how to do this business the right way, if you truly want to learn how to increase cash flow through and or add in other products within the same property, right? If you truly want to learn the importance of seasonal maintenance and what those maintenances are during which season, if you truly want to decrease your tenant turnover and increase your tenant satisfaction, if you truly want to learn how to decrease your capex costs, um, all at the same time providing an incredible experience for your tenants and increasing rents, then you should be there. Now, if you want to
Ooh.
be, if you're going to wait to buy, if you are think you don't need this, you'll be calling us, and then you'll wish that you had taken the class.
We're happy to share with you our bumps and bruises so you don't have to go through them. We got a question on Instagram. What strategy, Dreaming Big 17, what strategy would you recommend for finding your first deal based off this economy?
Um, it's not as much finding it as much it is as you preparing for it. So understanding,
Hold up. Take unpack that a little bit, Dan, so they understand. Because people don't understand deals going to come, and then when you're not ready.
I think we're all presented with opportunities in our lives. The question is, were we mentally ready? Were we ready to recognize the opportunity? And then, if you recognize it, are you prepared to take advantage of the opportunity? And I find that most people, one, don't recognize it, and then realize it was an opportunity years later through life experience.
That's right.
And by the way, that's happened to me.
Me too.
And but it's happened to me a lot less than most because we Chris and I took the time out to learn, right? So how are you like I was just talking to somebody today that's getting into the exterminating business, and they're buying a business, an existing exterminating business with over 3,500 accounts. And it's a tired owner. Uh, it's a business that's been there for two generations, and now the owner's kids, they're like, we don't want to do this, Dad, and we have our own careers. But the dad is sick, so now they have to get out. And the people that are buying this, it's a husband and wife, they've educated themselves to see the opportunity. That's why they see the opportunity they already see how they could expand the existing business even further than the 3,500 accounts.
Mhm.
But most importantly, they're financially prepared to buy it. So if they had not prepared financially, if they had not sacrificed and gone without so that they could save, they wouldn't be able to take advantage of this opportunity that they recognize.
You get to be ready. It's crazy.
Be
It's
ready.
funny you mentioned that, Dan. It's funny you mentioned that. So, we buy houses creatively. I'm getting ready to show you one here that we're buying for 5 grand. This house, 2,200 square feet, 5 bedroom, 5 grand. I'm buying this house for y'all, and you can do the same. I'm not that special. We're buying it creative, and a lot of times I have friends and colleagues that need somewhere to live. So I never forget this one guy. I had got the house under contract, and I was explaining to him, "Look, let me help you understand. You're getting into this deal, no credit, no bank qualifying, no tax returns, very little down, and it's not even going to be on your credit score. There are only a few times in an average person's life that these things are going to pop up." And I was explaining to him, and he was extremely leery about doing the deal. Fast forward 3, 4, 5 years later, he goes, "Chris, I finally understand what you were trying to give me. I finally understand what you're trying to give me, but you should have explained it so with this a boom, 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 boom." I'm like, Dan, I've had to come to the realization in my life. It's not my fault that you don't understand what I'm explaining to you lovingly, lovingly. I know now I can only say something so many times. Like he told me you should have said this and this. I'm like, look, dude, I'm doing these deals. I kind of beat myself up a little bit on that one. I thought I could have explained it better, but I'm thinking like, shit, I'm already doing it. It's up to
And
you.
and then
Man,
I'd flip the other side of the coin on that. Well, you should have asked more questions so you could understand it.
that's a
So,
good one, Dan.
the way I
That's a
look at that conversation, and I'd love people on the chat to chime in on this. You know, he's blaming you because he didn't take the time out to learn or ask the right questions.
And he really didn't have to do any learning. Like if you trust me, it's like me saying, "Dan, we got this, dude. Let's look at this." And we did. We just went to Kentucky based on a conversation. I'm like, "Dan, the lady want to do this. What you think?" Dan knows I don't have time to be BSing, and I'm people that deal with it. It's like when Dan bring me something. I know he don't got time to be jiving around. Like, okay, he listens. All right, let's go.
Guys, if you're not prepared, so people say, well, how do I get my first deal? If you're asking that question, it's most likely because you're not prepared. You didn't learn. You haven't learned. I do a free mentorship class every single Wednesday night. I should have 1,000 people on there. You have the opportunity to pick my brain for free.
For free. For free, y'all.
We should
Oh,
have a
Trav.
thousand people on this channel right now. How many people are on here, Chris?
We got 30
30.
plus
You're getting
IG.
this, for the 30 of you that are on here, my hat's off to you. Thank you. You're here on a Sunday night. You don't have to be. You're here to learn, right? We should have 1,000 people on here.
For
Minimum.
some reason, people think I don't know. Dan, I got 2 houses this weekend. 2, no cash, no low cash, no credit. I'm buying them creatively, dude. I'm telling you, we are the research. I know that these houses are coming. I'm looking at the foreclosures; they're happening. I'm going to them. So I'm telling y'all that
You have
this
a
is the time.
19% increase in foreclosures in the United States in the past 2 months.
Dan, we can't make them do
Get
it.
worse, people.
Dreaming Big 17. If I were you, I would get trained and I would do heavy AI and online marketing. That's what we do. I do online. Most of our deals come from online.
If you don't have money in the beginning, one of the ways that I started getting properties was that I made myself a person of service in the community, volunteering for like the Block Party Association, things like that, or going to the community board meetings. I put myself in rooms that people then start asking, who is this guy?
Hmm.
Because when you're
You're
there
pretty.
long, you start to make contacts. And when someone needs help, you want to be the person that they come to, because now you have information, and information is the key to any business.
It's funny you mentioned the information, Dan, because as I was driving to these appointments this weekend, I'm like, I am so grateful for the data that is in between my ears, right? Like the stuff Dan. For instance, when Dan and I just came from Louisville. He goes to a property instantly. His mind goes to the parking lot in the back. He goes, "Man, we got a big parking lot right here." And this particular building had another commercial building next to it.
So yeah,
And ironically, it was a rental car business. It was a rental car business.
and it was packed to the rim with cars.
Packed there and there. And didn't they say that they were parking on the street too?
Yeah, they
And
were taking up all the parking spots, and then when their workers come in, they take up like and people in the community upset, and they could probably fit what 40 cars back there.
at least, let's just say at least 25 or whatever. Whatever was a lot.
We broke it down. I remember we walked in and we broke it down. You go boom, 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 boom. Um, I was like, you guys are missing out on a load of income here on cash flow. Like you put up your fence here, you put up the fence there, put up two lights, clean this up. I was like, oh my god! I was like, and if you do this, you could get two more parking spots at the end. There's money to be made in every business. It's just sometimes you need a fresh pair of eyes on it, and that's one of the things that Chris and I are actually putting out there right now. Chris and I, you want to tell them how we're doing these walkthroughs and how spectacular that plan's going and how many people we're starting to help.
Yeah, man, we're traveling anywhere in the country. We're coming to look at your property or properties, right? So we're coming right to you. We're getting on a plane. We got the hotel. Boom. We're coming to your town to see what you got. From time to time, you need somebody. And the good thing about us coming, we have no dog in the fight. That's valuable to you because you, we don't benefit whether you make money or not. Like I say that because the contractors that are in your town, they're going to do whatever they can do to get the work. Right? We coming in town. Look, you need to get this done. Boom, 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 boom. We're gone. So then you can take the data and go out there and deploy it for that particular deal.
Yeah, guys. I mean, actually, Chris has put up two of the videos we've done so far.
Went up yesterday. One went up yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody just said they were just watching it. Travis says I was just watching the Brooklyn video and switched over to the live. Travis, what up, brother?
So, we are helping. If you, I wish there was a service like this available when I started my business.
I got
Where
this
I
deal.
would
What
get
do you think?
somebody, a Dan Borrero, Chris Haskins, walk in my property, telling me, listen, you want to maximize your potential profits? Do this, 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 this. You want to minimize your tenant turnover? Do this, 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 this. You need to, do you understand? You need to start putting money away for this major capital improvement that maybe didn't come up on your report. Let me show you this, 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 and this, right? Like I wish we had this available to us, Chris, when we were starting our business.
That's something. So it is an honor to Louisville. We're there with you. I had my Kentucky bourbon. And I got to tell you, I saw a lot of great people there, but I did witness a lot of poverty, Dan. I didn't know there was that much poverty going on in Louisville, brother.
Man, it's I've
Wow.
been processing. It's kind of funny. I needed 2 or 3 days to process when we got back, and
I'm still
I
traumatized.
can't get over the disparity between the haves and the have.
Haves and the have nots.
There
Yeah.
were a whole lot more have-nots than there were haves,
Mhm.
and the in between, the middle class, was very, very few. It
Yeah.
was either the haves or the have-nots. Very few of the middle class, and I got I got to tell you, Chris, I'm still thinking about it.
I got my therapy Tuesday. Dan, I don't remember the last time I went into a house where a tenant had no heat, not because it wasn't broken, but I don't know if you remember. I asked the lady, "Is the heat broken?" Like she goes, No, not broken. I didn't want to engage any more conversation, Dan. I was. It's really weird
She
to
was
just
saying
have.
that the heat wasn't broken, that she doesn't need heat, but her and her mother, who had dementia, had like 3 layers of clothes on.
Y'all know last week it was 20 some degrees down there.
It was freezing.
Oh my God, I was.
And the crazy part was the amount of hoarding that was in that house. It was just insane.
Yeah, seemed like a lot of people and a lot of drug abuse. Or is weed drugs? I don't know.
I don't know if it's considered.
A lot of weed smoking.
Oh my
I
God.
have empathy for, huh?
Weed, cigarettes, and TVs, big TVs in every room.
I know weed can help you cope with things. I just have so much empathy for people that have to smoke weed, dude. I mean, man, I wish, but, I can't save the world. Can't save the world. What up, Jamon? Y'all calling with your questions. Naj Tech, I got 100,000 cash looking for multifamily in Queens, Brooklyn. I don't know what that's gonna do. What's that gonna do for him, Dan? What do you recommend? What price?
I mean, you'd have to come in with an FHA with maybe 3% down, man. You're talking about Brooklyn and Queens.
Yeah, we got a caller, Dan. Call and state your name and where you're calling from, please.
What's going on? This is Jamal. How y'all doing, man?
Yo, Jamon, what's up,
What's going
bro?
on, brother?
No, man. Just I've been in my A for a minute, man. I'm still over this nightmare because I didn't think the job in New York was going to get elected. But yeah, I'm still, I'm in another dream because I'm called left and right now.
You in New York? Where you at,
ASAP.
Jamon? You in New York?
No, I'm in West Georgia. I'm in West Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. Okay, I gotta put something in Georgia. Okay. What happened to the election in Georgia? Ain't nobody. Only people care about New York. Nobody will care about no other state, no other city, but New York. What's going on in Georgia?
Oh no, yeah, it's a crap shoot Georgia too. They go to the blue side of things and stay on the blue side, thinking we're gonna do stuff instead of getting off their behind. I'm trying to keep them cussing, trying to get instead of getting off their behinds and going out and either trying to rephrase this. Still running around here playing the side of things where they got their hand out instead of putting their hand out and building it. They want to put their hand out to receive free stuff.
Oh, that's going on everywhere.
Yeah. And then the fact that, like with the have and have, I'm looking at people who were acting like they stuff didn't stink a year and a half ago. Them folks now, you go to their house now that they didn't want to sell you or whatnot. They're like, hey, I'll whatever. Just get this house off. I can't afford it no more. They're going to take the home from me. And as we're having conversations, you see repossession people outside hooking up bars and stuff. And the sad part is it's just not that house. You may have 3 or 4 other houses in that same neighborhood with realtor signs that been there since the spring.
What city is that? What city is that, Jamal?
No, out here I'm in Douglas County. I'm West Atlanta, but just around the metro area, Atlanta area. Like one particular area I'm looking at up there in Roswell, which is one of the main areas in North Atlanta. Mm-hmm. One particular I go by. It was a particular home. That home, nice home. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath home. 735. Is what it's worth. And that particular home had about 3 different realtor signs.
Wow.
On it, throughout this month, full price changes, and you're everywhere around the metro right now. You still get some folks still in the Kool-Aid, still my $600 home is worth $750 and not
sell my house.
And they're and they losing equity left, right, and they're out here just they're just in whatever reason, just hey, I'm gonna get what I'm gonna get. If it goes, it sells. If it don't, it don't. Time
and circumstances will change all homeowners. Time and circumstances.
Well, I'm knowing one reached out to me. They had their home since was it May. They can't find the realtor. The realtor literally ghosts them because the realtor was almost holding their home hostage at this point because they're like, yeah, we want this realtor. They're not returning our calls or whatnot. I don't know if they don't know where this realtor is at. They can't get a hold of them, but they were like, yeah, we'll sell to you with terms. I was like, I give you the price, just get terms.
So you don't need the realtor. First of all, you don't need the realtor. The realtor's not returning phone calls. I would actually reach out to the realtor's broker.
Mm-hmm.
And that's assuming the listing agreement has not expired.
Yeah, and that's another thing out here. You get a lot of this funny business. You have a lot of these realtors, mortgage brokers, and not mortgage. A lot of realtors and their brokers are in cahoots with each other. It's like they work cahoots with each other. If they can't get over on something, they look for ways to get over folks. Put it like that. They don't call Atlanta scam Atlanta for a reason. They call it scam Atlanta for a reason.
What do they call it? Scam Atlanta?
Scam Atlanta. Yeah, they call it scam Atlanta for a reason.
That's terrible.
So right then and there, that realtor, their broker's probably in on it because I know they probably called the broker and the broker ain't returned their calls. And I pray to the universe that the brokers wasn't one of these fly-by-night brokers that just decided to pop up, as a flavor of the month. Now they ain't making the money and they like a laptop. I hope it's not one of those things because when it come out too, and I ain't gonna time. Mm-hmm. That a lot of these people that had these little mortgages now, they found out a lot of mortgages were created by these little AI type companies, online companies, and now they're saying some of these mortgages are fraudulent now. These Wall Street guys like that were creating these mortgage companies online. Now they're starting to find out these mortgage companies are fraudulent. And a lot of these mortgage brokers are being looked at now because they're seeing 33% of the FA loans out there are predicated on fraud.
Jamal, you got some good points, brother. Thank you so much for dropping in on us, my brother.
No problem. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for listening to me, man. I'll get somebody some time to call in, man.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon.
That's
some good points, man. Atlanta.
So I wanted to bring up some things, man, because people, there's some people bringing up the fact on chat, car repos are up. Yes, they are. Foreclosures are up. Yes, they are. He says, get liquid and wait for the good times to roll. No, you need to get liquid to take advantage of the bad times. So, in 2008, and let's get back to what we were talking about earlier, preparing for the opportunities. I added 2 more zeros to the end of my net worth from 2008 to 2017, from 2009 to 2017, primarily because we were ready. We were financially ready. We were mentally ready. So, when I hear so many people suffer through that, to the fiasco of 2008 market crash, I didn't suffer. I made a lot of money. And for those of us that are prepared are going to make a lot of money this particular market crash as well. So
it's coming.
Yeah. So coming, what I say is get ready.
Well, get ready, but yes, go ahead.
Getting ready, I mean, not only with cash, but getting ready with your mindset, physically getting ready, making sure you're healthy, right? And then, of course, the cash reserves. But then, because cash is going to be king. We've heard cash is king all the time. But, how many people say, yeah, cash is king, but ain't got no cash to be king with? And then you gotta, get into the protective side, right? So yeah, take advantage of the opportunities, but then you got to make sure that you're protecting those opportunities.
Yo, this is a great Workman Property says, what's the play right now? My wholesale company is cooked and my retail brokerage is struggling. How are we still eating in real estate? That is such a good question. Thank you for putting that in, dog.
Well, I would say I don't see that question, but
it's on IG. I can't bring it over for some reason.
I would say the reality is that it depends on what part of the country you're in. So like Northern Jersey, everything's still selling really quick there.
Here too. I listed the house last week. Dan, when we were in
You,
Louisville, I got a
you got a
$500,000
full
offer.
asking price, right?
Yeah, 3 days.
Yeah. So it all depends
Virginia
what part of the
Beach.
country you're in.
He's in Florida, Dan. Workman Properties in Florida.
Florida properties on average have gone down about 25%.
Well, you got that insurance crisis down there, and
Oh, it's just you have a lot of things. You have, Florida was having a huge population boom year after year, and the laws that DeSantis put in place, in conjunction with the laws that Trump's put in place, they've lost a major amount of population growth due to Canadians not even coming in anymore.
really,
Canadians were a major economic provider, and a boost as well as provider for the state of Florida. They've
they're
lost
coming
the
down.
majority of those Canadians coming in, besides
Ca-
other things that they've done.
Canadians are coming in down there, relocating for the weather too.
They would go down there and become snowbirds, but I've read articles where Canadians were scheduling their plastic surgeries when they were here. They were buying condos and townhomes, and then of course they're fixing them up, which means they're hiring locals for deliveries and for construction work. The restaurants, many restaurants are suffering as a result of Canadians not coming in. But let's take it a step further. Look at what's happening with Disney. There, and all the and they're so expensive. It's making it almost unaffordable, for the exception of the haves. But there's not enough haves to make it a major economy boost anymore.
Well, my mentor, an old mentor, Dan Kennedy, says Disney's raising their prices because they have too many people. They want to stop people from coming because the park can't handle it. That's one way he looks at it.
Well, so it's kind of funny. I was speaking to an Uber driver. First and foremost, I'm going to give you guys a tip. You get in a taxi, speak to that driver. You get in an Uber or Lyft, speak to that driver. Those guys have their ear to the ground. They're in the streets every day, all day. I was speaking to one Uber driver. He was telling me he used to do 40 to 45 trips a day. He's lucky if he could get 8 to 10 now.
That's scary. That's scary. But Dan, I want to answer the guy, and we got one more question. Workman Properties. I'm not in your market, but I have to remind myself you're a broker too. And I think a lot of our success starts here. I know for a fact it doesn't matter if the market is going up, down, left, right, forward, backwards, or even sideways. There is a way to make money in real estate, right? I have to remind myself that. And in every market, someone's winning and someone's losing. It's just the truth, right? Sometimes we might be on the losing side, and sometimes we may be on the winning side. So we have to just make sure we're on the winning side more than we are on the losing side. So you're gonna have to tweak your business some. I don't know what strategies you're doing, but retail, selling all cash, close in 30 days. That is like my least favorite way. I mean, it's so traditional. I wouldn't even rely on that.
Look, I just did a deal like that, all cash deal. Here in the city, actually.
You sold. I'm talking about a home, traditional.
Where I just bought.
I'm not talking about us buying. I mean, we could buy it that way.
Yeah, but the deal is, the all cash deals are very slim to none now because people are, even if they have it, they're afraid to spend it.
So it sounds like he's depending on all cash closing 30-day deals, Dan.
Yeah.
Dude, I would not run my real estate business based on that. I would not do that. Workman Properties, you're a broker. He's a retail broker. So it sounds like he's doing some traditional stuff. He's on IG, Dan. So Workman Properties, if I were you, I would do a little research on creative real estate transactions. That's where we live. Doesn't matter Like we sell financing, not real estate. All right. So I would just kind of at least look into that.
We'll take a call.
You close it.
757-204-1332. How many people we have on here, Chris?
We got 35 here on YouTube, 7 on IG. Listen, y'all, this is the time. Holidays. Don't believe the hype when everybody says real estate slows down. It for some people it does.
It does. And my rentals, it's the worst time of year to have a vacancy. Right now, I've got 2 vacancies in Florida.
That's true. Me too. I got vacancies too. It's challenging to get a good tenant during the holidays. That's true. But I'm talking about transactions. People still getting sick. People still dying. People still losing jobs.
So I want people to know this. When do you do? What's the busiest month for you to do transit to close on deals that you're buying?
Busiest month for us is usually July. People in hot time. Everybody wants to move around and buy.
For me, it's in December.
For you to buy or sell?
For me to buy.
Okay, you didn't say. Well, I'm sorry. We sell more in summer. We buy more in December or January.
You want to explain to people why?
People looking for that holiday money, y'all. And guess who the only people they have their money to spend? Hey, we got money. Come on. We got 2 under contract this weekend. I'm going to get clapped for myself on that. I'll show you other pictures next week because I don't want to jinx them. Every time I show
about 50-year mortgage, guys, 50-year mortgages, believe it or not, I've heard of them like in places like England.
Mm-hmm. Real estate's high out there, dog.
Why would you do that Why would you do that to yourself?
Because I want to get in the house that I deserve this house for me. I worked for 10 years and I deserve it. That is the craziest example. Do you hear that all the time?
I tell people when they tell me, well, I deserve it. I says, you can't afford it. If you can't afford it, why do you deserve it?
Because I've been working for 15 years in my job. And
so you've been working for 15 years at your job and you can't afford a conventional mortgage. Whose fault is that? Not the government's fault, not society's fault. That's a you fault.
I've been doing so-and-so for this long, and it's time for me to have what I want.
Look, the truth of the matter is the only people that 50
Miss Deborah
helps is the bank.
Yep. More interest, longer. Now, I will say, hold up, Dan. What about people that are going to pay extra every month and get that thing paid off fast?
That'll work for me, but let's take the flip side of the coin on that. Most people move within 5 to 7 years. So if they're looking to reduce their monthly payment because they know they're going to be moving 5 to 7 years, that's great. But understand that you didn't touch 1 cent or very few cents of that principal on that mortgage. When you sell that property, because you're moving to another, you still owe what you originally owed. You've just been paying interest. And by the way, if it's your personal home, you can't even deduct it anymore unless you do the long form, and you got to have enough deductions for the long form.
Look, guys, we had you for an hour. Dan, thank you so much. We'll see you next Sunday. If you need assistance or you want to join the Landlord Survival Guide, go to dankrisdeal.com or just go to the show notes below. Book a consultation. You'll get both of us. Dan, I'll see you next week, buddy.
Have a wonderful day. Wonderful night. Take care.